Our allied town is being attacked!
Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. You will know endless more. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
We're under attack!
What is it now? This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. Now, Frostmourne. I'll make sure you suffer. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Speak, fool. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally.
Our allies' hero has
Your
been
pain shall
slain.
be legendary. This is more like it. Now, Frostmourne. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Hello there!
No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. This is
Our allied town is being attacked!
Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich King. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero
At
has
last.
been slain!
Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. You will know endless more. Ah, at last. Tread lightly. Finally. Ah, at last.
Our
Finally.
allied town is being attacked!
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Finally.
Greetings, friend.
Tread lightly. Ah, at last. No one orders me around.
Our
Speak,
allied town
fool.
is being attacked!
Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne
Our
hungers.
allied town is being attacked!
Ah, at last. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now? This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Speak, fool.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
No one orders me around. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being
Finally.
attacked.
Frostmourne hungers.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town
No
is
one
being
orders
attacked.
me around. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it? Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me.
Our allied town is
Tread
being
lightly.
attacked.
What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool.
Our allied town is being
Finally.
attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. This is
Our
more
allies'
like
hero
it.
has been slain.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly.
We're under attack. Our allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it.
Our allies'
Tread
hero
lightly.
has been slain.
Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Frostmourne
Our
hungers.
allied town is being attacked.
Faithless coward. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. At last.
Our allied town is being
hungers.
attacked.
Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly.
Our allied
What is it
town
now?
is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Finally. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Finally. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers.
Our
This is
allied
more
town
like
is
it.
being attacked.
Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Ah, at last.
Our
This
allied
is more
hero has
like
been
it.
slain.
Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied
Speak,
town is
fool.
being attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Tread
Our
lightly.
allied town is being
Finally.
attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our
at
allied
last.
town is being attacked.
This is more like it. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. At last. For the
Our
Lich
allied
King.
town is being attacked.
Finally. Now, Frostmourne. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich
Our
King.
allied town is being attacked.
At last. Your pain shall
Our
be
allied
legendary.
hero has been slain.
This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our allied town is
Frostmourne
being
hungers.
attacked.
Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne
Allied town
hungers.
is being attacked.
This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Tread
Our
lightly.
allied town is being attacked.
Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town
No
is
one
being
orders
attacked.
me around. What is it now? Tread lightly. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Finally.
Our
This is
allied
more
town
like
is
it.
being attacked.
Glory to the Scourge! Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. Speak, fool. I'll make sure.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Inventory is full.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more
Our
like
allied
it.
town is being attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. This
Our
is more
allied
like
town
it.
is being attacked.
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Defeat coward. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it.
Our allied
at
town
last.
is being attacked.
This is more like it. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. No one orders me around.
Our allied
Finally.
town is being attacked. Has been slain.
Tread lightly. At last. Finally. No one orders me around. This is more like it. At last. Finally.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
At last. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town is being
Frostborn
attacked.
hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly.
We're under attack.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Glory to the Scourge. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. At last. Frostborn hungers.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
What is it now? At last. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it.
Our allied town is
At
being
last.
attacked.
Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. At last. Finally. Speak, fool. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally.
Our allied town is being
Frostborn
attacked.
hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostborn
Our
hungers.
allied town has been
No
slain.
one orders me around.
Our allies' hero has
Ah,
been
at
slain.
last.
Our
Frostborn
allied town
hungers.
is being attacked!
This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. What is it? Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is
Our
more
allied
like
town
it.
is being attacked!
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at
Our
last.
allied town is being
This is more
attacked!
like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at
Our
last.
allied town is being
This is
attacked!
more like it. Ah, at last. I'll make sure you suffer. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. This
Our
is more
allied
like
town
it.
is being attacked!
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Speak, fool.
Welcome to our village.
Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Our allied
Ah,
town is
at
being
last.
attacked!
Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Now, Frostborn.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Ah, at last.
Our allied town
Frostborn
is being
hungers.
attacked!
Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Our
Finally.
allied town is being attacked!
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked!
This is more like it. Ah, at last.
Our allied hero has been slain!
Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. Glory to the Scourge. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. What is it now? Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Our allied
Finally.
town is being attacked.
This is more like it. Finally. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is
Our
more
allied
like
town
it.
is being attacked.
Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. Speak, fool. Finally. At last. What is it now?
Our allied
Lightly.
town is being attacked.
This is more like it. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. No one orders me around. Frostmourne
Our allied
hungers.
town is being attacked.
This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Finally. At last. This is more like it.
Our
Frostmourne
allied town is
hungers.
being attacked.
At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Tread lightly. No one orders me around.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is
Greetings,
more
friend.
like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last.
Your allied hero has been slain.
Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. Finally.
Our allied town is being
What
attacked.
is it now? This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like
Our
it.
allies' hero has
Speak,
our
fool.
allied town is being
Frostmourne
attacked.
hungers. What is it now? At last. Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly.
Our
No
allied
one
town
orders
is
me
being
around.
attacked.
What is it now? Tread lightly. Now, Frostmourne. Your pain shall be legendary. Finally. Fatal scout.
Our allied town
This
is
is
being
more like
attacked.
it. What is it now? Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. No
Our
one orders
allied
me
town is being
around.
attacked.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Finally. This is more like it. What is it now?
Welcome
at
to our
last.
village.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. Frostmourne
We're
hungers.
under attack.
At last. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Finally. No one orders me around. What is it now?
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Our
At
allies'
last.
hero has been slain.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town
This
is
is
being
more like
attacked.
it. You will know endless. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Speak, fool. What is it now? At
Our
last.
allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our allied town is
Finally.
being attacked.
At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more
Our
like
allied town is being attacked.
Finally. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is more like it.
Our allied town is being
last.
attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last.
Our
Finally.
allied town is being attacked!
This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne. Finally. Frostmourne.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Ah, at last. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being
At
attacked!
last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last.
Our allied town is being
Frostmourne
attacked!
hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our
Ah,
allied
at
town
last.
is being attacked!
This is more like it.
Our hero has been slain. Our allied town is being attacked! Our allied town is being attacked! Our allied town is being attacked!
Speak. Tread lightly.
Our allied hero has been slain!
At last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly. At last.
Our allied town is
Frostmourne
being attacked.
hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around.
Hello there.
Tread lightly. Finally. At
Our
last.
allied town is being
This
attacked.
is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At
Our
last.
allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Glory to the Scourge. Your pain for religion. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being
Last.
attacked.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allies' hero has
Finally.
been slain.
Frostmourne hungers.
Welcome to
Tread
our village.
lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero has been
Finally.
slain.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At
Our allied
last.
town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. What is it now? At last. Speak, fool. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town is being
Frostmourne
attacked.
hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Now, Frostmourne. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally.
Our
Frostborn
allied
hunger.
town is being attacked.
At last. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. This is more
Our
like it.
allied hero has been
Frostborn
slain.
hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At
Hello
last.
there.
At last. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne
Greetings,
hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
Faithless coward.
Finally. This is more like it. Now. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. No one orders meat around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Our allied hero has
This
been
is
slain. Our hero has been Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Our
Frostmourne
allied town
hungers.
is being attacked.
This is more like it. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally.
We're under attack.
No one orders
Our
me
allied
around.
town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Glory to the Scourge. Finally. At last.
Your pain shall be legendary.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being
Fine.
attacked.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. This is Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our hero has been slain. Our allies' hero has been slain. Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied hero has been slain. Our allied town is being attacked.
What is it now? Tread lightly. Frostmourne. This- Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Ah, at last. Finally. I'll make sure. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Hello there.
What is it now? Ah, at last. Finally. This is
Our
more
allied
like it.
town is being
For the
attacked.
Lich King, Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Tread lightly.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne This is more like it. At last. Finally. You will get this torment. No one will. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last.
allied town is being attacked!
I've been thinking. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. You called? I've been thinking. Indeed. A fateful choice. Is there something amiss? My talents are yours. Indeed. I've been thinking. You called? Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. You called? Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. Taste this. In the Lich King's name. Taste this. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Burn. In the Lich King's name. Indeed. That sounds logical. You called? A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? That sounds logical. Fateful choice. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed.
Our
That sounds
allied hero
logical.
has been slain.
Yes, right away. You called a fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Been thinking. My talents are yours. Been thinking. Indeed. That sounds logical. You called a fateful choice. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. My talents are yours. You called. My talents are yours. That sounds logical.
Taste this. In the Lich King's name.
Indeed. You called. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. Indeed. You called? Yes, right away. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful.
Greetings, friend.
You called? That sounds logical. My talents are yours. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical.
Our allied
I've been
town is
thinking.
being attacked.
Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? Indeed. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice.
Our allied
Indeed.
town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. You called. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Is there something amiss? You called? Yes, right away. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful
Our
choice.
allied town is being attacked.
You called? Is there something amiss? You called? My talents are yours. I've been thinking. Yes,
Our
right away.
allied town is being attacked.
A fateful choice. Is there something amiss? My talents are yours. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Been thinking. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Is there something else? A fateful choice. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, you called. A fateful choice. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. You called. That sounds logical. You called? Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Been thinking. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
Our allied town is being attacked.
You called. Indeed. That sounds logical.
Our allies' hero
A
has been
fateful
slain.
choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. You called? Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. Taste this. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
My talents are yours. I've been thinking. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Indeed.
Welcome to our village.
Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. In the Lich King's name. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? You called. My
Our
talents are
allies' hero
yours.
has been slain.
You called? I've been thinking. My talents are yours. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Indeed. You called? Yes, right away. I've been thinking. That sounds logical.
Our allied town
My
is
talents
being
are
attacked.
Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes,
Our
right away.
allied town is being attacked. Our allied
Sounds logical. Yes, right away. Sounds logical. You called? Indeed. I've been thinking.
Our allied town is
Is
being
there something
attacked.
amiss? You called? that sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds
Our
logical.
allied town is being
Is there
attacked.
something amiss? A fateful choice. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Yes, right away. Indeed. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. You call. That sounds logical. You call.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Is there something amiss? Indeed. That sounds logical. This. A fateful choice. You call. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. I've been thinking.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
A fateful choice. You call. Indeed. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. Indeed. Is there something amiss?
Hello there.
Our allied
talents
town
are
is
yours.
being attacked.
That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. Call. Is there something amiss? You called?
Our allied town is
A
being
fateful.
attacked.
My talents are yours. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. You called? Yes,
Our
right
allied
away.
town is being attacked.
I've been thinking. That sounds logical. Is there something amiss? You called? Is there something amiss? My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
A fateful choice. Yes, right away. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. My talents are yours. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. There's something amiss. A fateful choice. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. You called? Yes, right away. I've been thinking. You called? Indeed. There's something amiss. A fateful choice. You called? Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. That's... Indeed. Yes,
Our allied town is being attacked.
my talents are yours. A fateful choice. Yes, I've been thinking. There's something amiss. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
Our allied town is
Indeed.
being attacked.
A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. You called? My talents are yours. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. You called? My talents are yours. Yes, right away. A fateful
Our allied town is being
I've
attacked.
been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. Sounds like... Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes,
Our
right away.
allied hero has been slain.
Indeed. That sounds logical.
Our allied town is
fateful
being
choice.
attacked.
Yes, right away. Indeed.
Our allied hero has been slain.
Called? Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. I've been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
Our allied hero has been slain.
That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our
A
allied
fateful
town is
choice.
being attacked.
That sounds logical.
Our allied town is being attacked.
There's something amiss. You called? Indeed. Yes, right away. I've been thinking.
Our allied
that
town is
sounds
being
logical.
attacked.
Indeed. Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. There's something amiss. I've been thinking. That sounds logical.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Indeed. A fateful choice. Talents are yours. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. You called? Indeed. There's something amiss. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Our
Indeed.
allied town is being
A
attacked.
fateful choice. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Our Lich King.
That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
In the Lich King's name.
Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away.
Our ally's hero has been slain.
Indeed. You called? Yes, right away. A fateful choice. My talents are yours. Indeed. You called? I've been thinking. That sounds like
Our allied town is being attacked.
yes, right away. A fateful choice. You called? That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away.
In the Lich King's name.
Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice.
Our
Indeed.
ally's hero has been slain.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice.
Our allied town
Yes,
is
right
being
away.
attacked.
A fateful choice. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. You called. Is there something amiss? My talents are yours.
Our
Yes,
allied
right away.
town is being attacked. Our ally's hero has been slain.
I've been thinking. My talents are yours. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being
Yes, right
attacked.
away.
Slain.
You called. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. You called. My talents are yours. You called.
Our allied town is being
My
attacked.
talents are yours. A fateful choice. I've been thinking. Indeed. Is there something amiss? That sounds logical. A fateful choice. You called. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked.
My talents are yours. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice.
Research
Our
complete.
allied town is being attacked.
You called? Yes, right away. Is there something amiss?
Our allied
Indeed.
town is being attacked.
Yes, right away. Sounds logical.
Our allied's hero has been slain.
My talents are yours. A fateful choice.
Research
Is
complete.
there something amiss? Yes, right away. You called. Indeed. That sounds logical.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Yes, right away. Indeed. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked.
Sounds logical. You called? A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
Our allied's hero has been slain.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. A
Our
fateful
allied
choice.
town is being attacked.
Welcome to our village.
You called? Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
Our
Indeed.
allied's hero has been slain.
Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. You called? My talents are yours. You called? Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Is there something? Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds... My talents are yours. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our allied hero has been
Is
slain.
there something amiss? That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Indeed. call. Yes, right away. That sounds logical.
Our allies' hero has been slain. Our hero has been slain. Our allies' hero has been slain.
There's something amiss. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? My talents are yours. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed.
Our allied town is
That
being
sounds
attacked.
You called. I've been thinking. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
For the Lich King.
Indeed. Yes, right away. You call. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
I've been thinking.
Not enough.
That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical.
Our hero has been slain. Our allied town is being attacked. Our allies' hero has been slain.
Research complete.
Our allied town is being attacked.
You called? something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked.
Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
Our
A
allied
fateful
town is
choice.
being attacked.
Yes, right away. A fateful
Our
choice.
allies' hero has been slain.
Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. You called? My talents are yours. A fateful choice. Indeed. I've been thinking. Sounds logical. Indeed. Yes. Indeed. A fateful choice.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Yes, right away. My talents are yours. A fateful choice. Indeed. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. You called? Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Is there something amiss? Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Indeed.
Our allies' hero
That
has
sounds
been slain.
logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
In the Lich King's name.
Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss?
What
That
lies
sounds logical.
before me?
Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
Our allies'
My
hero
talents
has
are
been
yours.
slain.
That sounds logical. Indeed. A
Our
fateful
allied
choice.
town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. You called. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. That
Our
sounds
allied
logical.
town is being
A
attacked.
fateful choice. That sounds logical. Is there something amiss? My talents are yours. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical.
Our allied
I've been
town is
thinking.
being attacked.
Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. You called. Yes, right away. A
Our
fateful
allied
choice.
town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice.
Our allies here
Indeed.
have been slain.
Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
In the Lich King's name.
Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. My talents are yours. In thinking. You called? That sounds logical. I've been thinking. Indeed.
Hello there.
You called. Yes. That sounds logical. Indeed.
Our
That
allied
sounds
town
logical.
is being attacked.
A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Sounds logical. Indeed. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
In the Lich King's name.
Yes, right away.
Our allied town is being attacked. Inventory is full.
Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A
Our
fateful
allied
choice.
town is being attacked.
That sounds logical.
Inventory is full.
Yes, right away.
Is there something
Sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away.
Our allied town
Sounds
is being
logical.
attacked.
Indeed.
Our allied hero has been slain.
Fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Indeed. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
Our allied town is being attacked.
You call me
for the Lich King?
a fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. I've been thinking. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. You called? Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Indeed. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. Taste this. Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Indeed. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. In the Lich King's name. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Call my strength. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. Indeed. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. Burn. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical. That sounds logical. Yes, right away.
Our allied town is being attacked. Our hero. Our allied town is being attacked.
Research complete. Research complete.